Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. The morning sun filtered through the lace curtains, painting golden stripes across the mahogany dresser. A pair of hands fumbled with a coffee mug in the kitchen, the ceramic warm against calloused palms. 20 years of marriage stretched behind them like a well-worn path, comfortable but perhaps too familiar. "Cruz, come here for a second." Adeline's voice carried from the bedroom, tinged with something playful. Heavy footsteps crossed the hallway. Cruz appeared in the doorway, his gray t-shirt wrinkled from sleep, dark hair still mussed. "What's up?" Adeline stood before the open closet, wearing her favorite purple silk robe. Her auburn hair fell in waves past her shoulders. "I had the most ridiculous idea for our anniversary. If it involves that cooking class again?" "No, something different." She pulled out a red cocktail dress, the fabric shimmering as it caught the light. "What if we switched clothes for the day, just for fun?" Cruz's eyebrows shot up. "You're joking. Come on, where's your sense of adventure?" She held the dress against his broad frame. "Remember when we used to do silly things? Like that time we went skinny dipping in the lake?" "That was 20 years ago, Adeline." "Exactly my point." She thrust the dress into his hands. "Just try it. If you hate it, we'll forget the whole thing." The fabric felt impossibly soft between his fingers. Cruz studied his wife's expectant face, the little crinkles around her green eyes that appeared when she smiled. "This is insane. Maybe that's what we need, a little insanity." Cruz held the dress at arm's length. The red material seemed to mock him, too delicate for his construction worker's hands. "It won't even fit. I bought it 2 sizes larger than I usually wear. Been planning this for weeks." Adeline reached into the closet again, producing a pair of black heels. "These too, size 11. "You bought men's heels?" "They make them, you know, for drag queens and—" She caught his expression. "Not that I just thought it would complete the look." Cruz set the items on the bed. The morning light made the dress appear almost luminous against the white sheets. "And what exactly would you wear?" Adeline grinned, pulling out his best charcoal suit. "This should fit me well enough." "My interview suit?" "The very one." She ran her hands along the jacket. "Come on, Cruz. When's the last time we did something unexpected?" He couldn't remember. Their days followed a predictable rhythm. Work, dinner, television, sleep. Weekends meant yard work and grocery shopping. When had they become so routine? Fine. The word escaped before he could reconsider. "But if anyone sees us, we're not leaving the house. This is just for us." Adeline pushed him toward the bathroom. "Go on, try it on. I'll change out here." The bathroom door clicked shut. Cruz stared at his reflection in the mirror, stubble dark against his jaw, shoulders broad beneath the thin t-shirt. The dress hung from his fingers like a challenge. He stripped down to his boxers, then paused. The dress wouldn't work with men's underwear. After a moment's hesitation, he removed those too. The fabric whispered against his skin as he pulled it over his head. The zipper caught halfway up his back. He twisted, struggling to reach it, finally managing to secure it fully. The dress hugged his torso, the silk cool and foreign against his chest. The hem fell just above his knees. "You okay in there?" Adeline's voice came through the door. "Yeah, just figuring it out." The heels presented another challenge. He'd never understood how women walked in these things. The straps wrapped around his ankles, the buckles tiny and frustrating. When he finally stood, the added height made him grip the sink for balance. A knock rattled the door. "Can I come in?" "I guess." Adeline entered, and Cruz's breath caught. His suit transformed her completely. The jacket emphasized her shoulders, the pants crisp and professional. She'd slicked her auburn hair back, revealing the elegant line of her neck. "Wow." She circled him slowly. "Cruz, you look... ridiculous?" "No, you look... different. Good different." She adjusted the dress straps on his shoulders. "How does it feel?" The question surprised him. He'd expected to feel foolish, embarrassed. Instead, the silk seemed to awaken every nerve ending. The dress moved with him, a second skin that somehow felt more natural than it should. "Strange, but not bad strange." Adeline smiled. "Your legs look great in this dress." Heat crept up his neck. "Don't. I'm serious. You've got better legs than half the women I know." She stepped back. Wait here. She returned with a blonde wig, the hair long and straight. I bought this too, just to complete the transformation. Adeline, trust me. Her fingers worked the wig onto his head, adjusting it until it sat properly. The blonde strands fell past his shoulders, tickling his bare arms. She guided him to the full-length mirror in their bedroom. The person staring back looked nothing like Cruz. The dress clung in all the right places, creating curves he didn't know he possessed. The blonde hair softened his features. Even his posture had changed, more fluid somehow. I can't believe that's me. Do you hate it? He turned, watching the dress swirl around his legs. The heels forced him to move differently, more deliberately. Each step sent new sensations through his body, the silk shifting against his skin. No, I don't hate it. Adeline took his hand. Come on, let's make breakfast. See how it feels to move around normally. The stairs proved treacherous in heels. Cruz gripped the railing, placing each foot carefully. The dress rode up slightly with each step, forcing him to smooth it down. You're getting the hang of it. Adeline followed close behind. Most women can't walk in heels that well their first time. The kitchen tiles felt cold through the thin soles. Cruz reached for his usual mug, then paused. Everything felt different from this height, this angle. The dress brushed against his thighs as he moved. Sit. Adeline gestured to the breakfast table. I'll cook today. Sitting required thought. The dress had to be smoothed beneath him, legs crossed at the ankle to maintain modesty. The position felt surprisingly natural. You're taking to this remarkably well. Adeline cracked eggs into a pan. I half expected you to rip everything off by now. So did I. The admission surprised them both. It's just, I don't know, different. Good different or bad different? Cruz considered. The silk felt like water against his skin. The weight of the hair on his shoulders was oddly comforting. Even the heels, uncomfortable as they were, made him feel elegant somehow. Good different. Adeline set a plate before him. You know what? Keep it on for the day. See how you feel by evening. What about you? She adjusted the tie she'd added to the ensemble. I'm quite comfortable like this. Your clothes smell like you. She inhaled deeply. Cedar and motor oil. They ate in companionable silence. Cruz found himself adjusting the dress unconsciously, picking up feminine mannerisms without thought. The way his hand rested on the table, fingers delicate. How he tilted his head, letting the blonde hair fall forward. You're a natural. Adeline's observation broke the quiet. It feels... He searched for words. Free, like I'm not carrying all that weight anymore. What weight? I don't know, expectations maybe? The need to be tough all the time? He fingered the dress hem. In this, I can just... be. Adeline reached across the table, squeezing his hand. Then be. The morning passed in a blur of new experiences. Cruz learned to navigate the house in heels, to sit without flashing, to move with the dress instead of fighting it. The blonde hair required constant adjustment, tucking strands behind his ears. Let me show you something. Adeline led him back to the bedroom. She produced a makeup bag from her dresser. Just basics, nothing dramatic. I don't know. Trust me, you've come this far. She worked with practiced efficiency, foundation to even his skin tone, mascara to darken his lashes, a touch of pink lipstick. The transformation was subtle but striking. There, she turned him toward the mirror. What do you think? The face staring back was feminine, pretty even. The makeup enhanced features he'd never noticed before, the shape of his eyes, the curve of his lips. Combined with the blonde hair and red dress, the effect was complete. I look like a woman. You look beautiful. The word hung between them. Cruz touched his face gently, afraid to smudge the makeup. This is crazy. The good kind of crazy? He nodded slowly. Yeah, the good kind. They spent the afternoon like any other Saturday, if any other Saturday involved Cruz wearing a red cocktail dress and heels. He helped with laundry, careful not to catch the dress on anything. They watched television, curled together on the couch, Adeline's hand resting on his silk-covered knee. I could get used to this. She traced patterns on the fabric. You seem happier, more relaxed. It was true. The constant tension he carried had melted away. In the dress, he didn't have to be the strong one, the provider, the rock. He could simply exist. Would you do this again? Adeline's question came softly. You mean another anniversary? I mean whenever. Weekends, evenings, whenever you want to feel this way. Cruz considered. The thought of returning to his regular clothes felt oddly disappointing. The dress had become comfortable, natural even. You wouldn't mind? Mind? Cruz, I haven't seen you this happy in years. Your whole face is different. Softer. She kissed his cheek. If this makes you feel good, then I want you to do it. What would people think? What people? This is our home. Our marriage. She straightened his wig gently. Besides, I kind of like having a wife sometimes. The word sent an unexpected thrill through him. Wife? Well, you're certainly not Cruz right now. Too pretty for that name. Adeline studied him. We need something that fits better. Like what? Something elegant. She tapped her chin. Christina? No, too formal. Crystal? God, no. Okay, she laughed. What about Kora? Simple, classic. Cruz tested the name silently. Kora. It felt right somehow, matching the person in the mirror. Kora works. Perfect. Kora it is. Adeline stood, pulling him up with her. Dance with me, Kora. There's no music. So? She wrapped her arms around his waist. We'll make our own. They swayed together in the bedroom, sunlight painting patterns on the walls. Cruz, Kora, let Adeline lead, following her movements. The dress swirled with each turn, silk whispering secrets. Thank you. The words came unbidden. For what? For suggesting this. For not laughing. For... Kora struggled to articulate the feeling. For letting me discover this. Adeline pulled back to meet her eyes. Everyone deserves to feel comfortable in their own skin, even if that skin is covered in red silk. They kissed, soft and familiar, yet somehow new. When they parted, Adeline's lipstick had smudged. Let me fix that. Kora retrieved the lipstick from the dresser, reapplying it carefully. The motion felt natural now, as if she'd done it 1,000 times before. You're really taking to this. Adeline watched with obvious pleasure, like you were meant to wear dresses. Maybe I was. The admission came easily. Maybe I've been hiding this part of myself all along. Then let's not hide it anymore. At least not here. Not with me. Evening approached with reluctant steps. They cooked dinner together, Kora learning to move around the kitchen in heels without stumbling. The dress had ceased to feel like a costume, becoming simply clothing. I bought more things. Adeline's confession came over pasta. Other dresses, skirts, blouses. They're in the guest room closet. Kora's fork paused midway to her mouth. When? Over the past month. I had a feeling you might enjoy this. She smiled sheepishly. Was I presumptuous? No, you were... Kora set down her fork. You were perfect. How did you know? 20 years of marriage teaches you things. The way you'd linger at store windows. How you'd touch my dresses when you thought I wasn't looking. Adeline shrugged. I wanted to give you permission to explore. Can I see them? After dinner. They ate quickly, anticipation building. The guest room closet revealed a treasure trove. A blue sundress with tiny flowers, a black pencil skirt with matching blouse, a green wrap dress that looked impossibly soft, all in Kora's size. This must have cost... Don't. This is my anniversary gift to you. To us. Adeline pulled out a navy dress with 3/4 sleeves. Try this one. Kora changed in the guest room, emerging in the navy dress. It fit perfectly, professional yet feminine. How do I look? Like yourself, your real self. They spent the evening trying different combinations. Each outfit brought new discoveries, new ways of moving and being. The blonde wig stayed constant, but Kora experimented with different styles. Ponytail, braid, loose and flowing. I could do your hair, Adeline suggested as they relaxed on the bed, Kora now wearing a comfortable pink blouse and gray skirt. Style it properly. You'd do that? Kora, honey, I'd do anything to keep that smile on your face. She ran fingers through the blonde strands. Though eventually, you might want to grow your own hair out. The thought hadn't occurred to her. Could I? Why not? Lots of men have long hair, and if someone asks, you're growing it for your wife who likes it that way. Adeline winked. Which would be true. You really are okay with this. With Kora. I'm more than okay. I'm thrilled. She pulled Kora close. You know what this means? What? Shopping trips, real ones, where we both try on dresses. Her eyes sparkled. Manicures, pedicures, the works. In public? Why not? You pass beautifully. No one would know unless you told them. The idea terrified and thrilled in equal measure. I'm not ready for that. Then we wait until you are. No pressure. Adeline kissed her forehead. This goes at your pace. They talked late into the night, planning and dreaming. Kora would keep her female clothes in the guest room, a secret space for transformation. Weekends would be hers to dress as she pleased. Maybe, eventually, evenings after work, too. What about work? The question plagued her. I can't exactly show up to the construction site in a dress. So don't. Be Cruz at work, Kora at home. Lots of people have different personas for different parts of their lives. Is that healthy? Is it healthier than suppressing this part of yourself entirely? Adeline's logic was sound. You've been happier today than I've seen you in years. That has to count for something. It did count. The weight that had lifted from Kora's shoulders felt permanent, as long as she could return to this feeling, this freedom. I love you. The words carried new meaning. Thank you for seeing me. I love you too. Both versions of you. Adeline yawned. Should we go to bed? In a minute. Kora stood, smoothing her skirt. I just want to look one more time. Before the bedroom mirror, she studied her reflection. The navy dress complemented her skin tone. The blonde hair framed her face perfectly. The makeup, though slightly faded, still feminized her features. But more than the external changes, something internal had shifted. The person in the mirror looked comfortable, confident, complete, beautiful. Adeline appeared behind her, wrapping arms around Kora's waist. My beautiful wife. They stood together, Adeline in Cruz's pajamas, Kora in her dress. The contrast should have been jarring, but instead felt perfectly balanced. Ready for bed? Adeline asked again. Almost. Kora turned in her arms. I don't want this day to end. It doesn't have to. Tomorrow's Sunday. You can be Kora all day again. Really? Really. And the next weekend, and the next. Adeline guided her toward the bed. This is just the beginning. They lay together, Kora still in her dress, not ready to break the spell. The silk pooled around her legs, a constant reminder of the day's discoveries. Best anniversary ever, she murmured against Adeline's shoulder. Agreed, though next year will be hard to top. We'll think of something. Kora smiled in the darkness. Maybe by then I'll be ready for those shopping trips. No rush, we have all the time in the world. Sleep came slowly, Kora's mind spinning with possibilities. A whole new world had opened up, one where she could explore this side of herself freely. The construction worker facade could remain for the outside world, but here, in the safety of home, Kora could exist. Morning brought new challenges. Kora woke still in the navy dress, wrinkled from sleep. The wig had shifted, blonde hair tangled. Shower? Adeline suggested, already awake and watching her. Yeah, then you pick a new outfit for the day. I'm thinking the sundress. It's supposed to be warm. The routine of transformation became easier with repetition. Shower, shave legs again for smoothness, moisturize. The blue sundress felt like sunshine against her skin. Adeline helped with the wig, brushing out tangles and styling it in a simple braid. Makeup? She offered. Just lipstick today. Kora was learning her preferences. I want to practice doing it myself later. Smart thinking. They spent Sunday in domestic bliss. Kora learned to cook in her dress, protecting it with one of Adeline's aprons. They gardened together, Kora careful not to kneel directly in the dirt. Every activity took on new dimensions when performed in feminine clothing. The neighbors might see. Kora worried as they watered the front flower beds. So, you're wearing a modest sundress, nothing scandalous. Adeline handed her the hose. Besides, Mrs. Patterson is half blind. It was liberating, being outside as Kora. The sun warmed her bare arms, the dress fluttering in the light breeze. A car passed without slowing. No one cared about the blonde woman tending her garden. See? Adeline nudged her. Just another Sunday. But it wasn't just another Sunday. It was the first of many where Kora could exist openly, at least within the boundaries of their property. Each weekend brought new experiences, new confidence. By the third week, Kora had established a routine. Friday evening meant transformation, shedding Cruz's work clothes for something soft and feminine. The blonde wig had become as familiar as her own hair, though she'd started letting her natural dark hair grow longer. "It's getting shaggy," Adeline observed one evening, running fingers through Cruz's lengthening hair. "You'll need to decide soon. Cut it or commit to growing it out." Growing it out. The decision came instantly. Definitely growing it out. Good choice. We can get it shaped as it grows, keep it looking intentional rather than unkempt. The weekdays grew harder. Returning to work boots and flannel felt like wearing a costume, while the dresses hanging in the guest room closet called like siren songs. Cruz found himself counting hours until Friday, until he could become herself again. "You're distracted," his coworker Dennis observed over lunch. "Everything okay at home?" "Better than okay." Cruz couldn't suppress his smile. "Adeline and I are doing great." "Good to hear. You seem different lately." "Happier." If only Dennis knew how different. Cruz imagined his reaction to Kora, to the red dress and blonde wig. The image almost made him laugh. "Yeah, happier. We're trying new things." "Like what?" "Just stuff. Spending more quality time together." It wasn't a lie, exactly. Their weekends as wife and wife had brought them closer than they'd been in years. The months passed in a blur of small victories. Kora mastered walking in higher heels. She learned to apply her own makeup, starting simple and gradually attempting more complex looks. The guest room closet expanded to include shoes, jewelry, lingerie, all the accessories that completed her transformation. "We need to talk about something." Adeline's serious tone one Saturday morning made Kora's stomach drop. "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong, She took Kora's manicured hands. "You've been Kora every weekend for 6 months now. Longer hair suits you. It's past your shoulders even without the wig. You're happier than I've ever seen you." "But?" "No but. I'm wondering if you want more. If being Kora just on weekends is enough." Kora's heart raced. "What are you asking?" "I'm asking if you've thought about transitioning. Really transitioning. Not just clothes and makeup, but..." Adeline gestured vaguely. "Everything." The word hung heavy between them. Transitioning. Kora had researched late at night, reading stories of others who'd taken that step. The idea terrified and called to her equally. "I don't know. Maybe. Yes." The admissions tumbled out. "But work? There are other jobs. Or maybe the guys would surprise you. Dennis seems pretty open-minded. And what about us? Would you still want to be married to me if I..." "Kora, sweetheart, I'm already married to you. Have been for 6 months of weekends." Adeline cupped her face. "I love my husband, but I'm in love with my wife. Does that make sense?" "Not really." "I love Cruz because he's part of you. But Kora? Kora is who you really are. I see it every time you put on a dress. You become yourself." Tears gathered in Adeline's eyes. "I want you to be yourself all the time, not just on weekends. This is a big decision. Huge, life-changing. That's why we're just talking." Adeline wiped her eyes. "But I want you to know that whatever you decide, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." They tabled the discussion, but it permeated everything. Kora found herself studying her reflection more critically. The masculine features that required careful makeup to soften, the stubble that appeared by evening despite morning shaving, the blonde wig that, while comfortable, wasn't truly hers. "I made an appointment," she told Adeline the following weekend, "with a therapist who specializes in this." "Good? That's good." Adeline pulled her close. "You want me to come?" "Not the first time. I need to sort through my thoughts." Kora played with her growing hair, now long enough to pull back. "But maybe later?" "Whenever you're ready." The therapy sessions opened floodgates. Kora talked about childhood feelings she'd buried, the disconnect between internal and external self. The therapist, a kind woman named Dr. Brennan, listened without judgment. "It sounds like you've already begun living as your authentic self, at least part-time. How does that feel?" "Like breathing after holding my breath for 42 years. "That's quite powerful. Have you thought about what full-time might look like?" "Constantly, but it seems impossible. My job, my friends..." "Let's explore that. What's the worst that could happen?" The exercise was painful but illuminating. Yes, she might lose her job. Some friends might reject her. But Adeline would stay. Their home would remain a safe haven, and Kora would get to exist every day, not just on stolen weekends. I want to do it. The declaration came 3 months into therapy. I want to transition. Dr. Brennan smiled. Then let's talk about next steps. The plan unfolded slowly. Hormones would come first, beginning the physical changes that would align her body with her identity, legal name changes, wardrobe expansion, coming out to select friends and family, each step carefully plotted. I'm scared. Kora admitted to Adeline the night before her first hormone appointment. Of course you are. This is huge. Adeline held her tightly. But you're also the bravest person I know. How am I brave? I've been hiding for decades. You stopped hiding. That takes incredible courage. She kissed Kora's forehead. And you'll have me every step of the way. The clinic was discreet, tucked between a dentist's office and an insurance agency. Kora wore her favorite green wrap dress, the one that made her feel most confident. Her natural hair, now past her shoulders, was styled in loose waves. She'd retired the blonde wig months ago. Kora? The nurse called from the doorway. Standing on that threshold felt monumental. Once she walked through, there was no going back. The hormones would begin changes that couldn't be hidden forever, even under Cruz's work clothes. I'm ready. The words came out stronger than she felt. The doctor explained everything thoroughly. Expected changes, timelines, potential side effects. Kora signed consent forms with her legal name, still Cruz for now, but imagined the day she'd sign as Kora. We'll start you on a low dose and adjust as needed. Any questions? 1,000,000, but none I can articulate right now. The doctor smiled kindly. That's normal. Call if anything comes up. And Kora, congratulations on taking this step. The first injection was anticlimactic. No immediate changes, no sudden transformation. But as Kora left the clinic, prescription in hand, she felt the earth shift beneath her heels. How was it? Adeline waited in the car, too nervous to come inside. Done. I did it. Kora held up the prescription bag. I actually did it. I'm so proud of you. Adeline pulled her into a fierce hug. So incredibly proud. Changes came slowly. Skin softening first, then the beginning of breast development. Kora documented everything, photos marking incremental progress. The emotional changes surprised her most, a settling, like puzzle pieces finally fitting together. You're glowing, Dennis commented one day at work. Seriously, what's your secret? Just taking better care of myself. Cruz deflected, though the compression shirt under his flannel told a different story. 6 months on hormones, the hiding became harder. Kora's body curved in new places, face softer despite stubble. She'd started electrolysis, but the process was slow. I think it's time, she told Adeline one evening, modeling a new purple dress that fit perfectly over her changing figure. Time to tell people. You're ready? No, but I'll never be ready, and I'm tired of being Cruz 5 days a week when Kora is who I am. They started with close friends. Reactions varied from immediate acceptance to confused questions. Some relationships cooled, others deepened. The surprise was Dennis, who simply nodded when Cruz pulled him aside at work. That explains the glow. And the hair. Looks good long, by the way. He clapped Cruz's shoulder. So what do I call you? Kora. My name is Kora. Nice to meet you, Kora. Now, about that Johnson project. The ease of it made her cry in the truck later. Not everyone would be Dennis, but his casual acceptance gave her hope. Coming out at work officially required meetings with HR, paperwork, planning. A date was set. After the holiday break, Kora would return to work as herself. No more compression shirts, no more hiding. You sure about this? The foreman, an old-school guy named Bill, scratched his beard. Construction ain't exactly known for being progressive. I know, but I'm a good worker. That hasn't changed? No, it hasn't, Bill sighed. All right, we'll make it work. But you're using the porta-john like everyone else. We ain't got special facilities. Wouldn't expect them. The first day back after break, Kora sat in her truck for 20 minutes, gathering courage. She wore practical clothes, jeans, work boots, a fitted t-shirt that no longer hid her figure. Her hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail, light makeup, just enough to feel like herself. You've got this! Adeline's text provided the final push. The site went quiet when she arrived. Conversations stopped, heads turned. Kora kept walking, heading for the time clock like any other day. "Holy shit, Cruz!" someone called out. "It's Kora now." She punched in, hands surprisingly steady. "And yes, I know, big changes." The day wasn't easy. Whispers followed her movements. Some guys avoided her entirely, but Dennis worked beside her like nothing had changed, and Bill shut down the worst comments with sharp words. "Anyone got a problem with Kora can take it up with me," he announced during lunch break. "We've got work to do. Focus on that." Slowly, painfully, a new normal emerged. Some coworkers came around, others maintained cold distance. Kora learned to navigate it all, focusing on her work and the life waiting at home. "How was it?" Adeline asked that first night, rubbing Kora's tense shoulders. "Awful, and okay, and terrifying." Kora leaned into the massage. "But I did it. I was myself all day." "That's my girl." The phrase sent warmth through her chest. My girl. Not playing dress up, not pretending. Actually, truly, Adeline's girl. Legal changes followed. The day Kora received her new driver's license, name and gender marker corrected, she cried in the DMV parking lot. Such a small piece of plastic, but it made everything official. She was Kora legally now, not just in her heart. "We should celebrate," Adeline suggested, admiring the license. "Dinner out? Shopping?" "Shopping." The decision came instantly. "I want to buy something with my real name." "Use my new credit card." The mall that had once terrified her now felt like possibility. Kora tried on dresses openly, chatting with sales associates who called her ma'am without hesitation. The simple act of shopping as herself felt revolutionary. This one, she emerged from the dressing room in a black cocktail dress with delicate beading. "For our anniversary." "Perfect. Though you know I prefer the red one." Adeline winked, referencing that first dress that started everything. "That's retired, sacred." Kora smoothed the new dress. "But this feels right for celebrating." Their anniversary arrived with spring warmth. 21 years of marriage, but their first as wives. Kora wore the beaded dress, hair styled in an elegant updo that showed off her neck. Adeline chose a burgundy pantsuit that made her look distinguished. "To us." Adeline raised her champagne glass at dinner. "To courage and change and loving through it all." "To you," Kora countered, "for seeing me before I saw myself." They danced after dinner, not in their bedroom, but at an actual restaurant with a small dance floor. Other couples swirled around them, and no one looked twice at the two women swaying together. "No regrets?" Adeline asked softly. "None, not one." Kora pulled her closer. "This is who I was meant to be." The changes continued. Voice training helped Kora find a tone that matched her appearance. Electrolysis finally eliminated the stubble that had plagued her. Her body settled into its new shape, curves where angles used to be. "You're beautiful." Adeline said it daily, but one evening it hit differently. They were cooking together, Kora in comfortable leggings and an oversized sweater, hair messy from the day. "I'm a mess." "You're beautiful," Adeline repeated. "Not just dressed up, not just on weekends. Always. Every day. Beautiful." The words sank in. Beautiful in the mundane moments, in work clothes, in sleepy morning hair. Beautiful as herself, fully realized. Work remained challenging but manageable. New hires only knew her as Kora, which helped shift dynamics. The old guard mostly came around, especially after she troubleshot a complicated electrical problem that had stumped everyone else. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.